Hello and welcome to Kushti TV, the straight talking YouTube channel. Yes, I've got something for you this weekend, and it's fitting with the weekend of the Gypsy King in the ring against Del Boy Chisora. Yes, well, whilst we're talking about the Gypsy King and that weekend, we're going to celebrate almost heading towards 50 years of King of the Gypsies. That famous win of Johnny Frankham lifting the British title belt. Now, if you compare the British title belt, yes, of today's money, it's an extremely good, successful title to have. But if you put it back in the 70s when the fight had taken place, it was a much stronger belt because you had one unified champion. And this fight we're going to show, it involves two fighters that would no doubt, almost little to no doubt, would both be world champions if you had four belts around today. Yes, Gypsy Johnny Frankham took on Chris Finnegan, Olympic gold medalist, European, former British light heavyweight champion. Yes, he lost that fantastic fight against the almost unbeatable Bob Foster, arguably still today the greatest light heavyweight ever, and he went 14 rounds in a fantastic fight with Foster. So if you can imagine that Finnegan was around of today, he would have won, example, a WBA title, WBO or something, on the way up, because he was number one challenger. There was no other people in his way. And for Frankham, he was number 5 in the world. So equally, there would have been a world title, one of those four, no doubt, or certainly little to no doubt in my mind. Anyway, the fight took place on the 3rd of June 1975. Yes, it was at the Royal Albert Hall in London, and it was deemed by the British Border Control Fight of the Year. The Mirror newspaper deemed it best British fight of the century. Yes, and the Americans were fast running around gathering footage of this fight because it went across the pond, that it was deemed as fight of the year in Britain, and they also deemed it as one of the fights of the century. And it's all yours right here. Frankham was 27 years of age against Finnegan's 30 years of age. Many deem Finnegan had many hard fights, but in fact Frankham, 3 years as junior, managed by Bobby Neal, actually had more fights. Finnegan finished with a 36 fight career. Frankham had 40 fights in just over 5 years, 5 years, 2 months, 40 fights, plus exhibitions with the greatest, Muhammad Ali. All in all, he was pushing up towards, including his exhibitions, towards 50 fights in the space of just 5 years. Anyway, the scene was set. I've got some footage from one of my great uncles, and arguably, maybe disappointingly for you, I am the commentator, but I always say what I see. Yeah, I commentate it accurately, I commentate it to the best of my knowledge. You sit back, you enjoy this, and trust me, it's a beautiful 15-round fight, and I want to commentate on the footage I have. I hope you enjoy the fight, I hope you enjoy my commentary, and I hope you enjoy what was Britain's finest hour and television, British Gypsy's finest hour in television, before the modern television come around in rife, if you like. So final instructions as referee Harry Gibbs brings them to the centre of the ring. Freddie Hill giving a final massage to the golden boy, former Olympic gold champion Chris Finnegan, and Bobby Neal in the opposite corner with Frankham, and all the work is done and it's time to go. Frankham tightening his gloves, and straight up Frankham misses with the lead right. Frankham 5'11", jab each one to the body, then nice quick jab by Finnegan. Finnegan standing at 6'2.5" in the southpaw stance. Must be extremely difficult to get past, even arguably the greatest light heavyweight ever, Bob Foster, had difficulty in doing so before eventually breaking down Finnegan. And again Finnegan touches Frankham with the backhand as Frankham falls in square. Just makes him miss round the side, screws one through the middle. Sizing each other up, remember 15 3-minute rounds. If this goes the full route, they will be in there for an hour. And again, nice little uppercut from Frankham in the middle. He catches with the jab, Finnegan misses. Beautiful footwork by the younger man, Frankham. Counter jab, sizing each other up. Again, Frankham just makes him fall short and catches him on the counter. Good opening round considering they have 14 more lay ahead. And a good backhand there from Finnegan. Frankham works a bit in the middle. Yes, and I score that one even. Success for both fighters there. On occasion, Frankham made him counter in Finnegan with the longer reach. Caught with the backhand. Both had success. 10-10 round for me. Frankham known for his clowning around, but he can't take such liberties. A fantastic fighter there, lovely backhand by Finnegan. Frankham can't take such liberties clowning around. It's down to business with a normal, conventional type guard. Good body shot by Frankham. And just illustrating the class. He can lead with a right uppercut to the body and get away with it. Punch to the body and another good right hand there by Frankham. Finnegan still nimble on his toes. You know, he's had some extremely tough fights in his career, two including with world light heavyweight champion John Company and the greatest light heavyweight ever, Bob Foster. There's still plenty in the tank with the golden boy from Uxbridge. Oh, lovely counter work there by Frankham, and again beautiful jab by Frankham. 4 punches unresponded there by Frankham from Twyford, Reading. He's currently residing in West London, Middlesex, on Hampton Gypsy site. But he is born and bred. He's a proud Royal County, of Berkshire, and Twyford. Some close work, heads meet there. And another even round. Success for both fighters. I've scored it even so far. Blue and white tail with Frankham, consistent with the blue colours. Blue and white of Reading Football Club, and a gold and green of the 6'2" Finnegan, leading from the opposite hand. Oh, lovely jab by Frankham, beautiful jab. Finnegan, just again, even these fighters with such huge experience, and at the higher skill level, they have to sometimes fall over their own feet just to try and get near the other one, because they really are a slick pair of operators, these two. Frankham's had a very busy career. Bobby Neal has had him out very, very often. And a good punch then again by Finnegan, the backhand. Frankham tight in his gloves, almost giving the impression he's trying to load one up, and he does. Beautiful right hand, but back comes Finnegan with a jab. This is tit for tat, and another good exchange which Frankham has the better of. Jab to the body, work round the side. This fight's warming already. Just 3 rounds in, and Frankham beautifully makes Finnegan missed and just gives him a cuff round the side. Very often making a very, very skillful, awkward Finnegan. Look a bit awkward in places, and again good work. It makes Finnegan miss encounters with a 1-2. He's shuffled, as it normally worked for Frankham. But Frankham ain't having any of the clowning around here, and he means it. This is serious stuff. And referee Harry Gibbs pulls him aside. Was that on the break? And Finnegan's got nothing to complain about. He did the clowning and didn't defend himself. There is one golden rule in boxing: you defend yourself at all time, and he shouldn't be complaining. If you've got to do some clowning, leave it to Frankham, because he's the governor at that. Hence the nickname, the Gypsy Clown. Beautiful piston jab. The first one misses, but the second one doesn't. And that ends the round, and Frankham takes that round. Let's have a look at the replay here. Look how he gives it a bit of a clowning. Come on, says Finnegan, and Frankham's, yes, you can have some of that. And by the way, look after yourself, because I mean business. There's no clowning from me, even if you. We've got Frankham ahead as they come out for the fourth. It's a bit of a formidable task, but Frankham's handling it very well. Beautiful long reach and jab off Finnegan, very upright. It's the gloves of Frankham. See again, they both, as good as they are, they sometimes just have to commit and even go over their own, go slightly square on, as good as they are. They're not taught to do that, but each one of them has such reflexes and beautiful boxing skills. They have to commit to attack on occasion. And of course, that happens more when it's southpaw v orthodox, which of course it is. Frankham just touching on the gloves, waiting for the counter. A nice backhand by Finnegan. Seriousness on the face of Finnegan, and you would need to be. 15 rounds, both success and now the counter, and again Finnegan gets some success. Frankham tries the old man's punch around the back, which he's noted for, and referee Harry Gibbs almost laughs at it, because he's seen that happen many a times with Gypsy John. One each. Nice shot to the body by Frankham. Lovely variation of punches. Having lead off of that right uppercut, even at caught Finnegan with the body. Beautiful punch. And a very even round. I must say that Finnegan started the round fast and Frankham finished it better. I had on as even now. I still got Frankham one up. And you can see Freddie Hill in the corner there getting to work on Finnegan. The ever experienced Finnegan taking all the oxygen he can, which he will duly need. This continues. So into round 6. We have, on my card anyway, Frankham has one up. Beautiful fast jab and a nice right uppercut. He just blocks at the last moment. Finnegan, look at the speed of Frankham's hands. Tremendous. And they're not exactly slow at Finnegan's, are they? But Frankham, great shot there by Finnegan on the counter. And he comes in for more success, but as he does so, Frankham counters. And again, that's another fine example of where Frankham's drew him on square. And there's some heavy blood coming from the left eye of Finnegan, and Frankham's working on that. He sees the initiative here. And again he goes to work. Frankham, he seems to have had a beautiful right chopping cross. And somebody once said to Frankham, you don't hit hard enough to stop Finnegan. He said, I hit him often enough, I will. And he's putting some pressure on Finnegan here in the 6th, especially with that cut. And as the heads clash, it seemed to be that Frankham had his head very much near the left eye injury of Finnegan. As it's back to business, hands up. And Finnegan has his own success, but Frankham comes back with a right uppercut and a looping left hook. And he almost just semi-staggered the very tough Finnegan. And maybe his balance that made him look a bit more. And good exchange again from both fighters. You can see the blood pouring down on Finnegan's left eye. Beautiful right uppercut to the body. He's getting away with that punch constantly as Frankham. Well, Finnegan does what he knows best. He senses blood, and that's from his own face, and he fights back. But Frankham seizes it even more. He's tasting blood. Arguably, almost literally when they clash. With that wound running down his left cheek. And the referee's come in. He hasn't called the doctor, I don't think. He's just got the towel. As his corner, Freddie Hill dabs it. Is he going to stop the fight? No, he calls the action back on. And this is dangerously close. This is dangerously close to being very dangerous for Finnegan here. This could be the end. It's a gaping wound as Frankham ceases to operate on it in his own way. But forever brave, the warrior Finnegan fighting back. Good jab by Finnegan. Nothing round the side of the head and close. It's not at the back, something at the side, which is perfectly legal. And again Frankham, beautiful footwork, just gets him in and out, and again, and makes Finnegan miss. This is a good round for Frankham. But you just cannot, good work, good effort again by Finnegan, you just cannot rule out such a warrior like Finnegan. You rule him out your own peril. I'm sure Frankham knows him well enough with the two very close amateur fights they had, both which went Finnegan way. And a great chopping right by Frankham through the middle of the guard. And it's a one-way round for Frankham, although Finnegan showed great art and he was backed up with that cut. Now it looks as though Frankham's now sustained a cut. Also, just a nick above the left eye. It doesn't seem anywhere near the trouble the opposite corner has with Finnegan's. So out with the 7th, and Frankham is 2 up. In almost every one of Frankham's fights you would see him clowning around, hands dropping, early shuffle, punch him around the back, but it's right down to business. This is his chance of the British title, and good shot then by Finnegan, knocks the head back of Frankham. Just say Frankham's right down to business. He knows he makes Finnegan miss beautifully. Just a couple of inches of glancing head work makes the difference. The reflexes. And Frankham seems to have that right on key tonight so far, as he's ahead in this massive title fight at Royal Albert Hall, London. Yes, success for both fighters. Frankham making him miss. There's a lot of close rounds, and I arguably lean on Finnegan just so that it went up Frankham. There's a lot of close rounds here, in all honesty. And Finnegan again starts round number 8 well with a 1-2. Good work from Frankham then, brings the fight, just misses with the uppercut, and Finnegan he chops his backhand across Frankham's face. Tense stuff here. Success for both. Long rangey jab. And it's not a bad spell to fight for Finnegan, in all honesty. Having had that really bad 6th round, he's come back nicely. Blow for blow there. As Frankham backs back, but that's his way of fighting. Beautiful footwork, Frankham. It's not a back as you might know it. In terms of, I don't want this, it's just a back as in, I'm going to make you miss. Good exchange. And another good exchange. And good work again through the middle through Finnegan. It's much better than the exchange here. This is a good round for Finnegan. Seems to be in control of it. Head's come dangerously close there, but Frankham had his head in the right place, right in the middle, and downwards, right in the face of the taller man. That won't do the eye injury any favours at all. Nice work from Frankham. That's to say, yes, and again Finnegan. He's taken control of this round, in my opinion. It's one of the best rounds he's had. Although I'll give him another round, it was very close and decisive, not decisive. So Frankham goes back to the corner, takes a big gulp of air, and he may well need it. There's a long way to go. You have to remember 15 rounds, including their rest. They're in there for 1 hour. It's a long time. You watch a football match for an hour and you think you're watching that plus 15 minutes, sorry, 45 minutes, and you're watching that plus 15 minutes added injury time. It's a long time to be fighting, eh? Without me rolling around on the pitch, waiting for a foul. These boys are straight at business, and great work by Frankham right through the middle. And Frankham taunts him for the first time. He gets a little call on to Finnegan. And Finnegan's made to miss short with the jab, as Frankham eagerly awaits the counter. And Finnegan's trying not to. And good work by Frankham, and Finnegan gets his own success, but 3-1 there for Frankham. This goes round the side. Lovely skills that Frankham makes the former Olympic gold medalist miss, although he gets through one with a jab. Beautiful work with Frankham, nicking punches, and good free punches unanswered there by Frankham. And again, in these exchanges, very often difficult to count all the punches, because very often both fighters are landing with some success. But this is a round for Frankham where he's well in control. Although Finnegan again has some long range success, but Frankham answers him with a backhand. Good old fashioned proper British title fight this. Lots of sweat, fair bit of blood on both boxer, more from Finnegan. Good chopping right, it's a round for Frankham, and he goes back in the lead as far as I'm concerned. Freddie Hill gets straight into Finnegan on the work on that cut, known as the Lavender Hill Mob. Freddie Hill's gym, home to his brother Kevin, European champion. Then we go round 12, and 4 to go, and it's all to play for, and Frankham opens up fast and brings out a straight 1-2 that lands, and some lovely punches. But back comes Finnegan, and it's been like this constantly. It really is a cracking fight. Frankham again landing his success, making Finnegan miss. You get the feeling when they go close, square on, Frankham has the advantage. The natural shorter arms, good exchanges from both there. Body shot being played by Frankham to the head. And good work from Finnegan. Good success straight through the middle there with a long rangey 1-2. And again, referee Harry Gibbs takes a look at the nasty cut of Finnegan's, and he waves it immediately back on this time. And that's another round for Frankham. And the lead has widened by 2 on my card. Of course, the final position lays with referee Harry Gibbs, who's leaning against the ropes in a neutral corner, and he pulls both men out, and he's had little to do in a great action-packed light heavyweight British title fight. Frankham, number 5 in the world ratings, and Finnegan has been as high as the number 1 challenger. The 2 superior operators here. And Frankham just parries one on the glove, and it's back again through the middle. Beautiful punches. And Finnegan, the taller man, trying to get his head in the right place there, but Frankham's too experienced for that. Too crafty, too clever. And arguably, I don't know how the good punches there by Finnegan, and Frankham lands. And beautiful work again by Frankham. Finnegan lays somewhat of an aggressive attack on here, sensing that he may be behind in this very close fight. Great skill by Frankham. Just turns are superior. Super superior skills of Finnegan. So back to the cut. I bet there's a good chance that there could have been some head work that caused the cut. Not deliberate, experience, because their heads have come together a bit. To say as a orthodox southpaw styles, they have met square on many times. And good work from Frankham. Fantastic work. And almost some desperate challenge here, it seems to me, from Finnegan, trying to get back in. And Frankham again catches him with a beautiful chopping right to the jaw. And again, another fantastic round. And it goes in the way of Frankham for me. But that's a lot of close rounds in this fight. You know, you have to make up your own mind. I'm using my opinion. The final position will lay in that of Harry Gibbs. And now for the 14th. Frankham straight off his chair and rushes Finnegan, but not with success, as Finnegan evades the punches and just catches him one of his own punches. Finnegan looks like he's got to settle down. He means it, and so does Frankham. Brilliant work by Frankham. But as we know, the fight against Foster, Finnegan won't take this man down. He will throw everything at Frankham. And he is pressuring Frankham as he takes a couple in and cuffs Finnegan on the way round. On the front foot, the older man. Good jab. Trying to pressure it. Good backhand by Finnegan, as he has the better of that exchange. Frankham misses for a rarity. Frankham catches him on the way in, not with big punches, but the bigger punches have been landed, it must be said, in this round by Finnegan. Frankham has caught him. But the bigger punches and stronger punches come from Finnegan. Great footwork by Frankham as he gets out of the way in his penultimate round. Good backhand by Finnegan. Again, another very close round, and this is a great effort by Finnegan. Frankham started the round earlier, but I must say that Finnegan is finishing it stronger. And the question is he doing enough? I think this last final bit of the round may just be swaying in Finnegan's way, in which case makes this an extremely close fight. Blow for blow. What a warrior, Finnegan. And no doubt Frankham is equal. He's had very little of that to do as Harry Gibbs. And one is a fantastic fight. Good chopping right by Frankham. But Finnegan comes back with his own success and continues to pile it on. And he's just a sense that he needs to close the gap. And I think he might well be doing so, because this is a good 14th round. Frankham's had his success, don't get me wrong. It's a tight round, but at the moment, Finnegan's doing the better work, and he can sense that, I think. Grueling stuff. Fantastic round of boxing for me. Look at the fans are just jumping in appreciation, but for me it's a round for Finnegan. Referee Harry Gibbs walked to the corner of Frankham and said, "You need this round." What was said to Finnegan, if anything, we don't know. Sit back, see who you think won the 15th and final round. It's a gentleman who leans the ropes and pulls both fighters together to touch gloves for the 15th and final round. You couldn't argue too much whichever way this fight went, and that's a fact. What we do know, boy, have the crowd got their money's worth today. As they come dangerously close together with the heads. I think much in that exchange. You can't take away the physicality. and the strength it takes to endure those exchanges. Good looping punch by Finnegan. Not much in this round, in the opening minute or so. Arguably Finnegan just nipping the head early, not much in it. Good punches by Frankham, beautiful 3-4 punch combination there. And again, as Finnegan tries to work to the body, but that's at range, and Frankham uses his feet and picks him off. And Frankham has nicked 6, 7, 8 punches in a short space of time. And what was a very close round going Finnegan's way, I think it's now swayed back to Frankham's. And some success each there with jabs. And again Frankham takes one round the sort of side of the head, but he gets free of his own end. And as they come close again, a much needed break, but they won't be intent on having a break at this stage. It'll be lifting the British title. If Finnegan does it, it'll be the Lonsdale bout. If Frankham does it, it'll be the British title bout for the first time. It'll be outright the Lonsdale bout. Of course it's the same bout, but it'll be Finnegan's to own if he wins. If not, it will be Frankham's to have for at least 90 days in his thrilling fight. Cracking fight. And again Frankham catches him in the beautiful counters. And again, and Finnegan's head goes from side to side in a fantastic fight. There's got to be said, Gypsy Johnny Frankham, in my opinion, might just well be boxing his way to the British Championship. And what is a brilliant fight. But back comes the warrior, Finnegan. In the dying seconds, all eyes will be on both boxers, but as soon as that bell goes, they will go straight to the eyes of referee Harry Gibbs to see which hand he raises. And of course there's no judges in this era of boxing, 15-3s, for a title fight at British level. It's down to the referee, and he will go straight to an hand. Let's see which one he picks as he breaks them up. He looks around, he goes, and he's got the Frankham's money! Gypsy Johnny Frankham has become the British professional light heavyweight champion and in a thrilling fight. You couldn't argue with it. And the scenes, the crowd go mad here. They go wild in the ring. It's almost like a heavyweight championship of the world. What a fight. As Finnegan goes back to his corner, somewhat disillusioned, but he can't argue. What a great fight. For me it was Frankham by 2. And Harry Gibbs is given the same hand. By how many I don't know. But what a cracking fight. What a wonderful, wonderful fight. It really was some fight, that one. Yes. And the Finnegan brothers in the other corner. Maggot, Michael Finnegan and brother Kevin, you know, congratulating their brother on a great performance, but it just wasn't enough. And you see the man smiling behind Frankham here is the massive, heavy gambler, James Smith, better known as Muggy Stockings. This man is the father of the legendary knuckle fighters Jimmy and Wally Stockings. Now look at the smile on this man's face. I wonder who he had wagered on. Massive, massive gambler. I think that smile tells us who he put his money on that night, yeah. Thanks for tuning in. Hope you enjoyed Fight of the Year. And the footage is all there for you to see now. To see really how good King of the Gypsies, Johnny Frankham, really was. Thanks for tuning in. See you next time.